We're gonna make it work tonight, even though it's not Thursday. Maybe that's what I need. Because I was horrible. I was horrible last week. Worst I've done in a long time. So that was unfortunate.
I'm feeling pretty good about last week.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder why. Why are you feeling good, Dad? Couldn't be the eight for eight picks.
Oh my
Only
gosh.
I know, right? We're gonna have to hear about it this whole episode.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll give credit where credit is due because it is a feat that's only been done twice.
Yeah.
Twice in like all the seasons, season 1, season 2, and who knows? I doubt it's going to happen again this season. So in 3 seasons, it has only happened 2 times, which is pretty incredible.
Mm.
But Caitlin got some. Do you want to go by Kate or Caitlin or Lynn?
Caitlin. No. Oh,
Lynn.
you literally sound like Dad. No, Caitlin.
Oh, don't do that.
No. No,
Lynn.
Caitlin's good.
Lynn. Oh gosh, I don't like Lynn. Good call on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, before we get too much into this episode, Dad, what do you say we get that intro rolling?
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
That was good stuff.
You like that one, Caitlin?
That was great. That was great.
I
bet you the axe kind of surprised you, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Really jumped out at me.
Yeah. I was gonna say it throws everyone for a loop week after week after week. And yeah, I'm sure your dad gave you a heads up, like, yeah, watch out for that intro. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Well, our guest, all the way from College Station, where football used to be the ticket. Now Jimbo's got some issues, but it is a third one of the year, a true sport dolls with all dolls. Caitlin Doll, welcome.
Thank you. Wow. Hey guys, great to be here.
Yep.
Love to see some familiar faces. Yeah, no comment on A&M at all.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they had a slight shining moment, like they almost beat Alabama, and you're just like, oh. But
yeah.
Almost doesn't count in the win column. Everyone is cheering for you. Everyone
I mean, I know, and we were all hyped about it too. But again, Jimbo really screwed us over on that one, I'll say.
Yeah, that's on the hot seat.
Yeah, why is that? What is it? Why? Because he's losing and he's about to get fired?
Well, we can't fire him. He's got the best contract you could ever possibly think of. I don't know why A&M would ever sign a deal, because like if we fire him, we have to pay him like the $80 million up front. Like it's not. So I think what A&M might do is get a offensive coordinator. That would be the smart thing to do. Right,
to get someone who is running the show but not really running the show.
Yeah, but fingers crossed. A&M's not really smart with any of their decisions so far. So,
and they recruited. Their recruiting class is one of the best in the country, and much like the neighbor over in Austin, not quite pulling it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We just need to. I don't even know where to begin. Everyone is just disappointed. The last game, LSU, people aren't even going to go to it. I might go to the UMass game just to maybe see an A&M win.
Yeah.
A&M by 1, A&M by a field goal probably. I don't know.
Just enough to like make you nervous. You're like, this isn't fun because we should be blowing them out of the water.
Gonna be on the edge of my seat for the UMass game for sure.
For UMass. They're powerhouse football team, University of Massachusetts. Wow. Yeah. That is riveting stuff. Yeah, of course, Dad's bringing up the overall.
Oh, wait, let's look at last week.
Oh, wow.
God. Yep.
And,
Yeah, not good.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, a lot of those overs, I just didn't think it, and boy, was I wrong on most of them.
yeah, that Illinois game, oh
Gosh,
boy,
that was the Illinois game was absolutely ugly. Illinois looked horrible. Purdue looked good. Minnesota looked great again. You gotta love seeing that they covered a big spread. But man, I really thought Nebraska had a little bit of something in their tank. Well, Michigan just rolled the entire game, and so did Ohio State. So that was not my best, but you know, you can't have a comeback without a setback, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's only your second 3 that you've dropped, and you can see I've got 3 of them and a 2, but that 8er really, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, as you should. And yeah, I was gonna say, and our guest pick Sam, she did great, 6 out of 8.
Yeah.
Phenomenal pick. Way to launch the guest pickers back up into it. Now, Caitlin, I know you are just incredible on so many things in life.
Oh.
But being on this show, obviously, we are professional, very professional sports pickers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is your criteria? What's your resume? Why are you professional? Why are you so good at picking sports?
Well, like I was telling Dean earlier, I did get some help.
Yeah.
From the man himself, Ryan Richard Dahl.
Oh man.
So I was hoping maybe that would help. I also have a couple guy friends that may or may not have played college football that I asked advice for going in on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't keep up with Big Ten at all. Unless Minnesota.
Understandable. I mean, Big 12 is life down there. That makes sense.
Big 12. Whoa. What'd you say? Big 12?
Big 12 and SEC. That's like the big thing down here.
Yeah,
I did say Big 12.
I thought SEC schools, there is no other conference than the SEC.
Well, I mean, when your parents went to UT.
Okay.
I mean,
that's fair.
Whenever they moved to SEC, yeah, Big 12 is non-existent anymore. But for now, we still kind of have to like hold their hand a little.
Yeah. Show them a little bit like, hey, they're relevant enough. Might as well. TCU's running the Big 12. Even though UT put up a pretty good fight against them last week, TCU's still rolling the Big 12. I can't believe I just fudged up. I forgot. I for some reason I forgot A&M was in the SEC. I'm like, that's the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
They've been a part of the SEC for so long already. So
a long time, yeah.
Yeah. Back then, the Johnny Manziel days. That was
Johnny.
He's from Kerrville. It's like 45 minutes from Bernie.
Yeah.
So my high school played his high school. And so like I know guys that I went to high school with that like played football against him.
Yeah. Cool. It's cool. Yeah, he's I don't know the words to describe, you know.
Yeah, I don't think you can describe him.
It won't be good words, I can tell you that much. But I was gonna say, despite everything bad about him, his sportsmanship, his life outside of football, I absolutely loved how he just throttled Alabama. He just beat them, plain and simple, and it was magnificent.
His timing on the the 50-50 ball where he had his receivers bailed him out. It was like, what are you? Oh, great catch.
Throw it up. Yeah, absolutely. But needless to say, Caitlin, you got some big shoes to fill. I have no doubt you will do well.
And Darla's a very passionate guest. She's team guest, and so she's watching. And she, so she was very happy what Sam did. So not that there's any pressure.
Oh.
Yeah, because Darla, you know how angry she is going to get. You are going to get borderline threats via text or Snapchat that she's going to let you know if you drop the ball. She may not talk to you for a period of time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, let's start this off. And
All right.
did your dad, he explained to you about the spread?
I mean, yeah, kind of the best he could. Like a
So
two-paragraph thing.
so basically with the spread. So well, let's just start with the game. You learn as you go. So the first game we have here in the Big Ten is Illinois playing at Michigan. And so the spread is 17.5, which borderline is saying Michigan is going to win by 17.5 points. AKA, if Michigan wins by 18 or more points, Michigan covers the spread. Now, if you think Michigan will win by 18 points, you would choose Michigan. Even if Michigan wins, but it's under 17. So let's say Michigan only wins by 10 and you picked Michigan to cover the spread. Even though they won the game, they didn't cover. So that would be a wrong pick. So it's not just the winner of the game. It's, are they going to win by that much?
All right. Okay. I can do this.
We'll help you through it. Absolutely.
Well, let's start the first game. Illinois on a 2 game. I don't know how to lead up with Illinois. They were the hottest team in the Big Ten 2 weeks ago on a 2-game slide. 7-3 Illinois, 4-3 in the conference against undefeated across the board Michigan at the Big House, 110,000. Michigan is picked by 17.5, Caitlin.
All right.
So question is, do you think Michigan will beat Illinois by 18 or more points?
Yeah, well, my notes they're right here. They say Blake Corum is unstoppable right now. So I'm gonna go with Michigan.
Dang right.
For sure.
I don't know what's going on with Illinois. They were too hot to trot, and they've had 2 very bad losses. And that one last week, I mean, against Purdue. Purdue is a good team, but they're not great, and they just didn't do anything. They lost. So I'm gonna go back on the big cover spread. I'm gonna go Michigan covering and handing it to them.
Yeah, I can't agree with both of you more. Caitlin, I think that's a marvelous pick. Also, I have my help, the algorithm.
The infamous algorithm now has 1 week of undefeatedness in it. So now it's the greatest. Now Caitlin, we just gotta keep telling them, just keep picking the algorithm, and
go with the algorithm.
Let's see where this week's picks are.
Well, it's going to be a defensive battle, and that's the only thing that worries me, because it's number 1 against scoring defense against the number 3. Michigan's number 1 in the country, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But the algorithm, it has Michigan by 22.5. So
easy pick.
That's easy.
All right, moving on. Go blue.
Indiana is at Michigan State, and these 2 teams, 3-7 Indiana against Michigan State. I said it right. Indiana is 3-7. Michigan 5-5. Michigan beats good teams and loses to bad teams. Michigan State is picked by 10.5.
Oh, do I go?
Yeah, you're always
you always started off.
Probably Michigan State, just because it's at home.
Gosh, see this one, it's tough because I was all for it. I'm like, what? Last week I picked Michigan State against Rutgers, which maybe is a better team. But Indiana just kind of got walloped by Ohio State. Maybe they think they have a little bit more. Gosh, all right. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. I'm gonna take Michigan State winning and covering at home again. If I don't get this one, I think I can't pick Michigan State the rest of the year.
Okay, here's a number to throw by you before I give you my pick. The number is 28, and it has to do with the 2 quarterbacks.
The number of interceptions they've thrown combined.
Combined interceptions, 28. 28.
That is horrible. That's so bad.
Yeah, and that's going to be the whole issue. Who's going to give the game up? Algorithm has Michigan State by 9, which is not 10.5.
No.
And so I'm gonna differ. I'm going Indiana.
All right. There we go. See, I got 2 points to make up on Dad and the guest pickers. Now I don't have to make them all up this week. But I better start making some ground if I wanna win it all this year. Because season 1, Alex won it all. Dad, I'm pretty sure you won it all last year.
Yep.
So I'm a big loser through 2 years. So I need to start making some moves. So I like that you're differing. That'll be great.
But in fairness, in season 1, when we went down the stretch, you took a couple games for the team. And
I won the outright college pick 'em, and then we just kept going in the NFL.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, okay, sure. And then towards the end of the NFL, I was like, okay, I could just pick the same picks Alex picks and just walk away with a win. But no, that'd be the easy way out, Caitlin. And I didn't do that, and I made it interesting. And interesting lost. So we're gonna let Alex have this win. And he's no longer on the show, so he can't win anymore. So let's just give him this so he doesn't cry or get upset.
Yeah, we don't need any of that.
Yeah. You know, that older sibling, they always complain. They always complain about how they had it harder than us. And
how they set the path for us, how the babies, don't get any repercussions for their actions. I've heard it all. Yeah. I've heard it all.
They act like I've never been disciplined a day in my life, and I was handed everything. But so we're gonna give them this one just as like a so hard being an older sibling. Enjoy it.
Okay, babies, we're moving forward.
Yeah, we have to forget Dad's the oldest sibling too.
Yeah, I know.
We have Northwestern coming off a thumping up here in Minnesota last week, 1-9 Northwestern at Purdue, who is 6-4, coming off a big Illinois win, and Purdue is picked by 20.5. Caitlin.
If it helps, it is the we have the Boilermakers of Purdue versus Northwest Wildcats.
Just like Elmore Wildcats.
That's it.
I guess I'll just go with Purdue. I didn't really even think Northwestern had a football team until now.
They were relevant about like 2 years ago. They had a pretty good defense and a decent team. Heard me say it once. Northwestern is garbage this year. Plain and simple. They're trash. I think this is an easy pick. Hopefully Purdue doesn't let up off the gas. They are playing great against a very good Illinois team. They just have to play good against Northwestern. So I'm going to go Purdue. It's a big cover, but I think they got it in them. Let's go Boilermakers. 2-2.
Yeah. The spread is a little disturbing with how deliberate Northwestern is. So Caitlin, they are just going to run the ball at you. They're not going to do anything crazy. The clock keeps going, and Purdue is number 98 in the country for turning the ball over, and that worries me a little bit that there'll be enough. But I'm going to stay with the algorithm. The algorithm is totally with Purdue at 25.5. So I'm going Purdue also.
I was gonna say they're playing really good football right now, and Northwestern just doesn't get any better. They started bad and they've maintained that bad status. So like I said, they don't have to play outstanding. They don't have to play as good as they did last week. They just have to play just good regular football, and they should beat them handedly.
What I'm worried about from Purdue is they're going to be watching the scoreboard, because they're going to be definitely watching that Michigan-Illinois game, because if Illinois loses, Purdue's in the driver's seat to win the Big Ten West.
Yeah, exactly. But they need to keep winning.
Yes.
And hopefully some Purdue players are listening to this podcast and they're like, all right, let's hook them up. I'm not betting on the game, but they picked us, so let's make sure we cover that spread.
We go to Lincoln, Nebraska.
Ooh.
3-7 Nebraska Cornhuskers hosting the 5-5 Wisconsin Badgers. The Badgers are picked by 13.5 on the road. Background, I don't know what your sources told you. Nebraska seems to come out with being inspired, playing well, and then the second half of the last 3 games, just nothing. So just take that for whatever it's worth, Caitlin.
Yeah. Well, my sources say not Nebraska, Wisconsin. I'll pick Wisconsin. That's what they said. They also quote, Nebraska just can't seem to get it together this year. So I'm just gonna go with that.
That's a pretty good quote there. I know, like, Nebraska gave Minnesota a tough time, but Minnesota prevailed. Wisconsin's don't let their record fool you. They have some caliber that they can stick with some good teams. Do I think they can beat them by 2 touchdowns? I think so. I think Wisconsin, they are going to be upset from kind of an ass whooping of last week against Iowa. They're still in the hunt for Big Ten West. Caitlin, we have so many teams in the Big Ten West that all have the same conference record and similar overall records, that we have 2 weeks in the regular season left, and there's 4 possible teams that could win that side of the conference, and Wisconsin's one of them.
Wisconsin's got 4 losses though.
They?
The 4 teams are Iowa, Minnesota, Purdue, and Illinois right now that have the same record.
That's it. Well, either way, Wisconsin, they don't want to get embarrassed back-to-back weeks. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
This is when I don't like the algorithm.
Because it doesn't tell you what your gut says.
I know, and because Wisconsin's picked by 13.5, and the algorithm has Wisconsin over Nebraska by 13.
I don't know where they're going to pick up that half a point. Right. So this is gut. Do you go with your gut or do you go with science, statistics, technology?
Well, and it's just like, that automatic, the door to the garage that automatically shuts, out of security for fire. It's like, do I leave my hand in there and let it hit the door or get it out of the way? Because that's how it feels.
Good metaphor.
Yeah, that was very odd.
Yeah.
Logic would tell you to move your hand.
Yeah.
Are you assuming that's the algorithm? The algorithm tells you to move your hand, also to not pick Wisconsin because it has them at 13, not 13.
Right. That's there. It was a long way to get there. I'm going to stay with the algorithm. It pains me to. I think Wisconsin's going to win, but it's not going to be 13.5.
Yeah, there you go. See, Caitlin, we're picking up points.
Yeah, we are.
Now let's get a little bit more meat in the spread. Undefeated Ohio State,
number 2 overall.
Number 2 overall, is playing Maryland 6-4. It's at Maryland. Ohio State is picked by 27.5.
Ooh.
A lot of points.
Ohio State. I would choose Ohio State just because, they've always been solid. I know that. I don't even watch the Big Ten. Yeah. Alabama played Ohio State, crushed them, but Ohio State is always up for a possibility to get to go to the national championship and win. Yeah. They're just that kind of school. They're a football school.
I was gonna say they've been dominant for the Big Ten for a while. This is one of the best Ohio State teams I've seen probably since they won the national championship way back when Ezekiel Elliott was on the team. And they beat Alabama in the playoffs and all that good stuff. Gosh, see, I kicked myself in the foot right now because I didn't pick OSU to cover the big spread, and they did. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. I will also take the over and go OSU on this one. I think they're just rolling. They're playing hot. They're going to keep it up. Let's go Ohio State. It pains me to say this, but I hate Ohio State, but I want you to score a lot of points.
And here's my other game where the algorithm, because to give you some background, Caitlin, every time I've picked Maryland, I've gotten burnt this year. Mm-hmm. Maryland makes so many penalties and makes so many mistakes. But the algorithm has Ohio State by 26. And I think there's
That's
a chance.
A tight one.
Yeah, it's a tight one. And I have a feeling Ohio State is looking to next week. And
yeah, that is true.
So here we go. I'm going Maryland.
Stick with it.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say it's feast or famine for Dad right now. Because I was gonna say, because there's 3 picks. This could launch you into a very handed first place. Yep. Very, very much so.
Or other.
Or it'll bring you back down and continue to even the playing field.
Well, let's go to New Jersey, which just rings Big Ten. Penn State is at Rutgers. Penn State is 8-2. Rutgers is 4-6. This spread kind of surprised me, but that it's only 19.5. But Penn State is picked by 19.5.
My sources say to pick Rutgers just to go at the upset here because it says Rutgers can be a tough place to play.
There you have it. Oh, I can't disagree with Caitlin. I was gonna say her and I we're locked in right now. I don't know who her sources are, but she seems to have them, and they seem to be knowing. They seem to be knowing what they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I only get the best.
Yeah, I would expect nothing but the best down there. Because before she even picked, I was like, you know what? Rutgers played Michigan State tough last week, preventing the spread, and that was at Michigan State. Now I think Penn State is definitely a better team than Michigan State. Do I think Rutgers? Do I think they can withstand Penn State? The answer to that question is no. I'm going to go Penn State. Keep the spreads covering. Dad, you changed my pick. I saw that on there and I went, no.
You totally, you pushed me. You let it well and then pivoted at the last minute.
Pivot. And I said, you know what? No, I've been hitting the overs. Let's keep it going. Penn State is a good football team. Rutgers played a very tough game last week. They're going to be a little tired. So yeah.
Rutgers, they just can't play in the second half. They just get throttled, whether it's the Gophers, whether it's Michigan. The algorithm has them by 39. That's definitely more than 19.5. So I'm going Penn State.
You may have to check with your sources there.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's that's okay. Last week I was all high and mighty because I had been the best picker for 2 weeks in a row. Now look at me. I'm at the bottom of everyone because I had one shit week, and it was a bad week to have a shit week because everyone else played great and picked well. So I'm scared to make gambling picks because now it's easy when you're winning. You're like,
oh yeah, it's clear.
Whatever I'm doing is right. So I'm gonna just keep flying by the seat of my pants because I'm a genius. And that wasn't the case last week. So now I'm honing in, focusing, and yep, we're gonna go Penn State on this one.
Well, we go to the game that we're gonna be at, Josh, this weekend.
This will be my first game of the year and the coldest. Caitlin, guess?
Yeah, it's going to be wind chills in single digits, Caitlin.
I
Yeah.
got well, last week it was 82 degrees, wearing tank tops and shorts to class. It's a little colder now. It's like 44, but it's not
Yeah.
like single digit wind chill at all.
So like just the high temperature is 17 degrees. That's the highest it's gonna get. And then the wind's gonna blow, and it's a 3 o'clock game, so the sun's gonna go down and it's gonna be cold.
Yeah, y'all have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to reach out to a couple of friends today because Alex and Sally were supposed to come to this game, but Alex's work got in the way. So we have 2 open tickets. So I've been reaching out to friends, Dad.
I know, same.
And amazing. No one wants to come to this game. I'm like, this is going to be a good game. But it's cold as balls out there.
Well, it's Iowa has 6 wins. Minnesota has 7. They both are 4-3 in the Big Ten. The odds makers basically call this one even because they're given the 2.5, 3 points to Minnesota for the home team. Minnesota's picked by 2.5. I'm curious what you do with this, Caitlin.
I mean, I can already tell the fans are going to go wild. The dolls are going to be there.
Yeah,
I gotta go with Minnesota. I mean, if y'all are going to be there cheering them on, that's going to be a great boost for Minnesota.
I think so. This game definitely makes me nervous. Just because I don't know why Minnesota has a tough time with Iowa. Like, I still have like this stink and just bad taste in my mouth after in 2019 we're undefeated. We get married, we beat Penn State. Woo, life is good. We're rolling, we're ranked well. And then we go to Iowa, who is a far lesser team than us that year. And we just choke and we play horrible. And so now we kind of have a similar thing. Minnesota's back on a winning streak. They're gaining momentum. They're feeling good. It's a home game, but Iowa just got done kind of beating up on Wisconsin. But I'm gonna go Minnesota on this one. I'm gonna be there. I wouldn't be a true fan. Plus, as we say up here, and Caitlin, Dad, feel free to help me out. Who hates Iowa?
We hate Iowa.
We hate Iowa.
Yeah.
There's literally a chant that'll just go, "Who hates Iowa? We hate Iowa."
Okay.
Constantly.
After the game last week at Northwestern, Potts family, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. These 2 guys walk up, and this guy, kind of shaggy beard, and he was feeling really happy.
Yeah.
And he just gets up my face. Who hates Iowa?
See? It's an absolute classic. Who hates Iowa? We hate Iowa. So plain and simple, I don't like Iowa. I think Floyd of Rosedale. I can't remember if we beat Iowa last year or not. Either way,
it's been 9 years
since we had Floyd of Rosedale.
Yes.
The last time we had it, I touched it.
Yes.
Wow, Galen, I was a freshman in college the last time. Well, that game, Iowa versus Minnesota, I went up with some friends. We stormed the field because why not? Like, it wasn't a big game, but it kind of was. Like, it wasn't to go to the playoffs or anything. It was just we beat Iowa. Great, and we weren't supposed to. And yeah, so apparently that was the last time that we beat Iowa, so that's disappointing. So it's time for the pig to come home. Let's go Minnesota.
This is going to be the number 3 defense. That's the one thing that worries me about this, because Iowa's defense is really good, and their defense somehow manufactures some sort of score, whether it's a safety or like last week, a pick 6.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the whole difference. But we still, I say it over, we have Mo. I think the best running back in the country, considering he's playing on a 2nd-tier team.
Right.
And Algorithm has Minnesota by 16. So
that's a hefty. I hope they win by 16. I hope everyone thinks this is a close game and we just start hot, keep it on the pedal, because that's gonna warm you up. That's gonna feel good. It's gonna make the beers taste better, and we're gonna stay warmer.
So
And
yeah,
nothing's worse than a bad beer and cold feet and cold hands. And yeah, we just want to stay away from that.
yep. I don't even want to go there. So I'm picking Minnesota, and it sounds like Tanner is going to be back. They're healthy. Here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna need to play very, very good to beat them, but it's doable.
Caitlin, we come to your town. 1-9 UMass is in College Station. 3-7 A&M. A&M's picked by 33.5.
Yeah, if we win this game, we actually might be storming the field, just like Josh with Iowa his freshman year.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously gonna go with A&M, gig 'em. It's also at home. Tickets were already all sold, so I mean, student section's gonna be there.
Yeah.
A&M does do really good at Kyle Field, I will say. I just really hope. I'm honestly, it's fingers crossed. Ashley might be coming in town too.
Ooh,
My Ashley.
nice.
There we go.
I think I'm just gonna go with A&M just because she's coming in town.
There we go. You guys are cheering them on. I'm gonna say, we're gonna be at the Minnesota game with you two being at the A&M game. It's obviously gonna be warmer. That's awesome that they're even not even having a good year and still they're selling out the stadium.
Oh yeah, 70,000 kids. Yeah,
let's go.
That's
Absolutely.
Cool. That's so cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with A&M on this one. I was gonna say I've been going with the guest pickers teams every single week, and it's been going well. So I'm gonna go A&M as well. Bring that noise, and just make sure if it's a close game, get them to that 34-point win.
Oh, and yeah, I'll try.
Well, so I'm going A&M also. I mean, I just look at yes, UMass scored a whopping 33 points last week in their loss, but prior to that, they have a tough time even hitting 13. And A&M's got weapons. They just shoot themselves in the foot. They're not going to do it this time. They're just going to, which also, Caitlin, next year, I need to get to Kyle Field for a game.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all come down. I don't understand why y'all haven't come down this year. Like,
we never got the Caitlin invite.
Y'all are invited in the spring when I get my ring.
Okay. This spring,
it's gonna be a lot of beer. A lot of beer.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about this summer. That's this spring.
It's this spring. I'm gonna get my ring. It's more important than graduation.
Well, yeah. Is it before graduation?
It is before graduation. So all the extended doll family has to come.
And is it a Thursday I fly down for dollar beers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dollar beers. Oh, let's go out to Dobbs. Hell yeah. I'll be officially 21, so I don't have to sneak around. But that's good.
I will also be 21, so I will not be sneaking around as well.
Same.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I'm saying you Galen, you better watch out. You bring Dad to dollar beers. He'll show you how to throw down a beer. That's for sure.
There you go.
I'm not even being the least bit sarcastic. Oh man, he's a dark horse. You gotta watch out for him.
Yeah, let's do the shooter.
Oh yeah, let's see. Let's go back to our picks. We're talking about drinking beer. Not good for you. No, that sounds super fun. But Caitlin, you and I are neck and neck. We just differed on one pick, and that's okay. If you win that one over me, more power to you. But I say we got stick it to Dad and bring him back down to our level here.
Yeah,
below our level.
Yeah, below our level there. I agree.
Middle three are throwing me, and yeah, we'll see.
I was gonna say it's a big test for the algorithm. It's got more and more data points as the year goes on, so theoretically it should be more accurate. I was gonna say it did have a lot of very close, similar numbers to the spread, which is scary, but it could be the key to victory, Dan.
Well, and it was just nuts. So, and we talk about this a lot. When the spread works out for you, you feel like you're on top of it. Like, Ohio State scored late to win by 44.
Correct.
But when it
And
doesn't,
that would have been, yeah. It was just very, very disappointing week for me. I apologize to anyone who was supporting me in my time. I need to bounce back. Plain simple. I need to be better.
Caitlin, this has been super awesome. I am so glad it worked out. I'm excited to see how your picks do.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for scraping the bottom barrel for me. I know
bottom barrel.
I'm probably like the 10th pick, not even, but I did get some sources, so hopefully I'll bring the best points up.
Yeah, you were the 11th pick, but either or.
Oh yeah, my bad, went off.
No, of course not. I was gonna say it was gonna be awesome. I'm like, hell yeah, we'll get Caitlin here, talk some shit, pick some teams, call it an absolute great episode.
Yeah.
Are you going undefeated this week? Probably.
Yes, I am. Don't know about Dean because he put all of his eggs in one basket with the damn algorithm. But
yeah.
More power to you.
Caitlin's got multiple sources. I was gonna say she's got a diverse team. Experts, yeah.
Yep.
See, the best people have great surroundings. So you surround yourself with all those professional pickers and know-it-alls, it's bound to be good. What am I looking at here?
Oh, I was gonna show you all the algorithm just to. But
don't be sure, Dad. That's you're gonna be